So, what do you think? So, it's happening pretty fast, as you said, with COVID's expediting it too. What are the roadblocks right now in AI and automation? I mean, you said there are like millions of people that are being exploited due to the work market, and we would like them not to be exploited as soon as possible, right? So, what is the barrier right now for AI?
I think the main challenges right now is specifically in robotics. In the robotics area, there are many challenges, especially that's what's been really needed to expedite operations. During the last 5 years, robots have become an indispensable tool for many companies, particularly over the last 2 years, like I mentioned, with the
Mm-hmm.
challenges such as supply chain disruptions. We have labor shortages, as we just talked about, the lack of education and training. So there is labor shortages, not only because of the disruptions that are happening in the supply chain, but also because there are skill gaps. Also, you have the pandemic fears. All of that has contributed to an increased demand for manufacturing robots. And with that comes also the advancements in AI.
Mm-hmm.
Robotics is still one of the most advanced fields in technology today. And that's something people are also not aware of. But that really also the fact that it incorporates a spectrum of other technologies like artificial intelligence, like automation, like the Internet of Things. All of these technologies have really contributed to bringing robotics advancements to the forefront. Despite these advances, however, the sector still has a long way to go. And some of the biggest challenges that we are seeing in robotics right now are primarily for developers and for manufacturers. The focus now needs to be on increasing the multifunctionality of robots, the navigation and mapping skills, how to expand valid artificial intelligence, the sustainability and energy efficiency issues that we still struggle with, social relationships and overall ethics, like Saeed mentioned that earlier, and he was trying to talk about that as well. So all these issues, in addition to privacy issues. So
Right.
once we really start to work on increasing the efficiency and the multifunctionality of these different areas, I think robots can start to advance and do more meaningful work, and people will start to feel much less threatened by the presence of robots and the implementation of artificial intelligence and other types of technologies as well.
Yeah, I think the main thing that drives people to be against AI is the fear of the unknown. They don't know what AI is, what it can do. The main picture that is portrayed to them is the things they see on TV or in movies, like Terminator and stuff like that. And then, I mean, well, yeah, exactly.
So
There
many
are
myths.
also
Yeah.
so many myths. Exactly. But for me, when I was doing my research on AI, one of the things that popped out for me is the possibility of having a universal basic income. I don't know if that is something that's plausible. So if you could maybe give us some insight on that, I would like to hear your opinion on it.
Well, it's a very controversial topic, obviously, when it comes
Yeah.
to that. I don't want to get into the politics of it all so much, but
Mm-hmm.
what I would say is that everybody deserves to have at least a minimum wage that can help you to survive, right? The problem now is that we have people that are struggling so much and they can barely pay the bills and they can barely keep up, but they're working so much. So it just doesn't make sense how much they're working compared to how much money they're making and how much they're struggling. And a big part of that, I personally believe, is really the nature of work. It's just the nature of things we do. A lot of the things we do are very slow because a lot of it is very labor intensive, and labor work is slow work. So you end up doing so much more and getting paid so much less, just again, because you are being used up like a machine rather than using your intellectual capacities, where with those capacities you could exponentially grow and you could exponentially move. And that's why you have people that are thriving working much less but making a lot more, and then you have people that are working so much more and making so much less. I think at the end of the day, it's really about changing the nature of work itself and what people need to focus on in terms of the type of work that they do in order to maximize the value of their time. Because right now, nobody wants to be working 10 hours a day, making less than $9 an hour or $10 an hour. And in some countries, people are making less than $1 an hour, or some less than $1 a day. It's absolutely insane if you really look at the global economy and how the wages are distributed. I just think that technology can really give everyone a way to start becoming more efficient in terms of how they do work, but also it gives you new avenues in terms of entrepreneurship and business and bringing new ideas to the world and just existing in a different way than we've been conditioned to exist for so long. That's just, my take on that.
Yeah, I'm hopeful on it. That's a great take, honestly, very insightful.